Welcome in, everybody, to the WillCo Sports Power Hour, live from Tony's Eat and Drink in Franklin. My name's Charles Pulliam with the Williamson Herald. Happy to have you all here. Friends near and far, thank you for coming to tune in. We got a great show lined up here tonight. We have athletes from Summit High School in the house, Franklin High School, and Nolensville. Again, this is the WillCo Sports Power Hour, brought to you by Tim Thompson Premier Realtors, Gateway Tire and Service, Toyota of Cool Springs, and so many of our other great sponsors out there. Normally, I'm joined by my co-host here, Garth Bolden. He's hanging out in Florida, actually, with some of our teams locally here. The Nolensville boys, Nolensville girls, both playing basketball in, I think it's Destin, Florida. One of the trips, hopefully, I get to go cover at some point here, too. But really excited about that. We had a lot of basketball, a lot of wrestling over this last weekend. Quick little recap into some of those. If you go back and you check the Williamson Herald online, you'll see our Tim Thompson Premier Realtors premier performers, and we got a lot of that covered there, too. Of course, some great tournaments there. The Brentwood boys played into the championship of the Father Ryan basketball tournament. That's the Willie Brown Christmas Memorial there. 94-80 victory over Clarksville in the semifinals. They fall a little short of the host Father Ryan Irish, 51-44. But the Brentwood boys getting ready to go there. I know Franklin and Centennial, which is in the house. We have the Franklin boys here. We're playing at the Cougar Showcase just across the road at Centennial High School. A couple big wins there for the Admirals. Again, we're going to be chatting a lot of Admiral basketball here, too. One of the big local wrestling tournaments. Well, on Saturday, we were at the Mayor Garston tourney. We're going to actually talk with one of our wrestlers there about that as well. But a lot of local athletes coming out on top there. A lot of several all-WillCo finals as well, too. Nice tune-up here. We got a big tournament coming up at Father Ryan actually this weekend. So Friday and Saturday, be ready for the Johnny Drennan, one of those special ones. It's kind of like a state precursor, and we have a lot of outside teams coming in. Union County from Kentucky, a real powerhouse comes in, represents. You got teams from Alabama, Georgia, and then all our great local teams here as well, too. Again, want to do a quick shout out to some of our WillCos in the pros before we get going on here. And this will be fun because we have one of our Franklin alums actually recognized here too, but Garrison Matthews, who's actually playing for the Atlanta Hawks, a shooting guard, former Franklin grad, former Lipscomb standout. He's reached double digits in scoring 3 of the last 4 games for Atlanta. The Hawks on a 4-game win streak in the NBA right now, and Garrison Matthews playing some key minutes there. A shout-out to Tyrell Dotson, a Centennial High School grad, actually, as well. He anchored the Miami defense yesterday in a 23 victory at Cleveland. The Dolphins still in the playoff hunt with that victory. Dotson recorded 15 tackles. That's a single-game season high for the Dolphins on defense right now. 23 win. Dotson and Miami plays at New York, the Jets, in Week 18 to close things out. With the win there and a Denver loss, we'll get to see Tyrell and the Dolphins in the playoffs. So a couple shout-outs to our WillCos in the pros. But again, we are live here. If you can't make it to Tony's, we're on Facebook Live. Check out the Williamson Herald and Gateway Tire and Service Facebook pages. We also will be out on YouTube later tonight, on Spotify and other streaming software as well, too. But I think we should dive right in. We got some great guests here. A quick shout-out to some of those sponsors again. Stonegate Homes, Matthews Team Sports, Trucking for a Cure, Tennessee, Southern Trophy, John Mayer Builders, and our great hosts here, Tony's Eat and Drink in Franklin. We got Monday Night Football coming up here a little later, too, Detroit and San Francisco. Swing on by. Come hang out. But let's dive in. If I can get Coach Jason Tigert to come on up here right now, we'll get the show started. Again, my name's Charles Pulliam with the Williamson Herald. Want to thank so many great friends to come hang out here at Tony's. Our, so many great friends tuned in here online as well. But I got Franklin High School boys basketball coach Jason Tigert in the house with us here too. Coach, man, it's crazy to think the New Year's right here. Our last show of 2024, we get to chat with you guys here. We've already played a couple district games. I mean, this is nuts. We're almost midway through the season, it seems like.
Yeah, it's been fast. It's been fun, but fast and furious for sure. We've played a pretty good preseason schedule. 1-1 in district league play, and got one tune-up game, Marshall County Friday night at home. and then it's on.
Then we just dive right in, right?
Dive right in.
I think it's Independence and then Brentwood too, huh?
Yeah, Independence and Brentwood. That's correct.
So when you think about this district, Coach, I mean, we just mentioned one there. You got the defending state champs in Independence right there. You got a 2-0 team in district in Brentwood. I mean, and they were at state last year as well too. That's a pretty gauntlet of a start here for district play coming into the new year here. What are we going to see from the Franklin boys?
Well, yeah, you hit it. The league is brutal. It's tough. This is a couple years in a row that it's really been a standout league across the state, and this year is no different. But as far as my squad, I think we're a team that's I think we played our best ball the other night versus Oak Ridge, a really quality team out of East Tennessee. Got a good solid victory in that game, and in a game where Christian was in foul trouble. And so there's been times this season that when we've struggled, it's been when Christian's gotten into foul trouble. So big positive moment for our team, that other guys stepping up when Christian was on the bench.
Before we talk about one of our recent Gateway Tire athletes of the week here, let's chat about some of these other guys. We're going to get to have Christian up here as well, but tell us a little bit about this Franklin team here. I know we get to see a lot of familiar faces here, a lot of guys coming back, but what are some of the guys you're really excited about?
Well, obviously Christian, and most things flow through him, and we'll have him up here in a second. But Sam Muburn's having an outstanding year. This is a lead shooter that has been challenged to get better defensively, and he has done just that. He's second in rebounding on the team, so that's big time. From a shooting guard to be second in rebounding shows you his toughness. And another impressive stat on him: 4.5 to 1 assist to turnover ratio.
Oh wow,
that is elite, and so that's someone that has really been taking care of the basketball and making the right decisions. And so he's had an outstanding season, and we look for him to continue to do so.
I see. Well, looking back, let's go back to this last week here. I mean, you mentioned an Oak Ridge game. You guys were playing at that Cougar Showcase right after the holiday. I think it was Riverdale prior to that as well, but just getting in some more court action there. Let's talk about that Oak Ridge game. What would it take to come out on top in that one?
Well, Oak Ridge, they're huge. Christian had a couple inches on their big, but across the board, besides at Christian's spot, they had several inches at every spot. And so just a massive team, shoots the ball very well coached, and it was a tough victory. I was very proud of the guys' physicality. And then once again, with Christian getting in foul trouble, other guys being forced to step up, and they did. And we shot over 60% from the three-point line that night. So really got going, shooting the basketball, something that our guys are capable of. And we just kind of pieced it all together tonight and got enough stops and took care of the basketball. And so just a really quality win.
And I think 59-47 the final in that one. But as we're talking, I mean, a Franklin team beating Oak Ridge over at Centennial in the Cougar Showcase here. I think it was Xander ended up leading the team in scoring in that game. Was that?
I believe so.
Yeah.
He shot it extremely well, and he's capable of that. I'd been going through a little bit of a slump, but Xander's a guy who shot 37.5% from the three line last year. We're not worried about him moving forward. Just take the right ones, and he did. He took the inside out threes that were presented to him, and he buried them.
I was getting teased a lot from the Nolensville coaches here because, they were hanging out on the beach this morning in Florida, playing in the tournament. I know you guys have gone to several times, that Hilton Sandustin one, but can we chat a little bit about, I was teasing Coach Troy Crane and Brentwood last week on the show about, hey, they were playing at Father Ryan. You guys are playing at Centennial, just one of those great holiday tournaments, not in Florida, though. So we don't get to enjoy the big trip, the toes in the sand kind of thing, but talk about playing locally here because, between the tournaments of Centennial over at BGA, Page has got one. I mean, there's a flood of opportunity to play over the holidays locally.
Yeah, right before the holiday, we go over to Murfreesboro and play a solid Laverne team and a very solid Siegel team, and so those were really good tests for us. And then we knew we were going to get at least one really quality opponent at Centennial, and so it's fun to go to Florida. We do it all the time, but this year we just decided to keep it local, and like I said, we played our best game of the year. So, I anticipate moving forward we'll be traveling again. But yes, you can get quality basketball right here at home.
Christian Brown, your big man senior here. We've seen so many great things from him over these last few years. It seems like we've got to enjoy him for more than several years here. Let's talk a little bit about this guy and what he brings to this team. How do you describe Christian here, your senior leader?
Well, Christian's been dominant without question. He's a guy that puts the work in. That's the biggest thing for me. I love to see when guys that put the work in, both in the gym and in the weight room, for them to be rewarded with that. And we've talked about this here on this show. Christian wanted to improve his body, and that's what he's done. And he looks like a Division I basketball player. And he is, he's a double-double machine, averaging 21 a night, 10 to 11 rebounds a night. Leads, obviously, shot blocking ability, charge taking ability. But once again, I just love when the guys that put in the work are rewarded for doing that.
Now, we don't want to go into exact details and dates here, Coach, but you've been doing this for a while here. When it comes to having a big man like a Christian, where's he kind of rank in your coaching experience for having a guy like that on the team?
Christian's the best big guy I've had, without question. I've had some good ones. I had a really good one at Dixon. We've had some good ones here at Franklin. But as far as at that position, without question, Christian's the best one I've had.
Now, before we get him up here, you talked a little bit about some of that off-season work he put in, and obviously just changing his body even more and dedicating more time to that. But when you think of him last year as a junior to this year as a senior, what do you see the most out of that year-to-year growth from that young man?
He's just more dominant. He's rebounding the ball just so aggressively. I've challenged him to out-rebound the entire Franklin team. Rebounding's a time where you should be selfish. Go get them all. Go get every rebound. And I think he's taken that to heart. He is, offensively, he can play inside. He can shoot the three. Hadn't taken a lot of threes this year because we've had him on the block, but we're very comfortable with him shooting the basketball on the perimeter. So in every aspect of his game, he's improved.
Love it. Hey, I think we need to get him up here. Coach, you're welcome to stay up here, too. Take the seats here, too. But Christian Brown, if you can come join us up here. Christian is one of our latest Gateway Tire male athletes of the week, a senior at Franklin High School, a standout on the basketball team here. Got an extra mic here as well, too, if you want to pass that to Coach. Christian Brown of Franklin High. Man, thanks for coming to the show, man. How you doing?
Doing good.
Not bad. Well, welcome back, actually. I know you're somewhat of a veteran here, but Coach is saying some good things about all the work you've put in here a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your perspective here on the start of this season so far. What have the Franklin boys been doing?
We've been working hard. We had some highs and lows, during this season, but we could just continue to keep stacking days, keep working, learning from our lessons, and just keep pushing.
So one of the things that's a little different from last year is playing some of those big district games right away here. We dove right into a Nolensville game. I mean, you guys have played a couple to start here in December, and getting that taste of district action. What have we seen from Franklin here, and what excites you about the challenge of next week, really?
Our district is very tough, so having those early district games, it really woke us up. We had a tough loss in Nolensville in overtime, and we learned a lot of lessons from that, and I think that helped us, going over the winter break with these big wins against Oak Ridge and Siegel, just, learning from those lessons and just prepare for the storm. Like everybody say, this district is very tough. You got to be on your A game every night. So I like it. I think we're in a good spot.
Coach, when you hear one of your leaders just talking about being in a right spot, getting ready for it, embracing that challenge, I mean, how's that make you feel? Because it's a gauntlet.
Yeah, and it gives me a lot of confidence. He's talking about learning lessons, and those films have been very valuable. The big eye in the sky doesn't lie. And so we put a lot of emphasis into game film, and I think the guys know that. I think they trust the staff that we're being honest. Sometimes those sessions aren't exactly the most positive in nature. A lot of times film, you're focused on mistakes. You'll celebrate some things you do well, but you got to spend more time on learning from mistakes. And so if you got the right mindset and the guys trust each other and they trust the staff, then those sessions are extremely valuable, and we learned a lot from that Nolensville game.
Well, going back to that Nolensville, Christian, let's chat about that. So this is actually going a couple weeks back. Joe Williams of the WAKM radio and we did some broadcasts in there. We were there for that one. Thinking of that contest and feeling a mid-December district battle that it felt like February in that one. You guys are at your home gym. What'd you guys learn from that narrow loss to Nolensville in overtime?
No, just having a sense of urgency, getting into our spots quicker. The biggest lesson we learned is probably on the defense end, helping the helper, just getting to your spot early, and they hurt us a little bit, Nolensville, they move the ball very well. So just getting to our spots early and just having that sense of urgency, will help us in this district.
Going back to this last week here, Coach was talking about a really tough challenge in Oak Ridge. That game coming out on top, beating Riverdale there too. I know for you in that last game here, dealing with a little bit of foul trouble, seeing the other guys step up. Tell me a little bit about your perspective there and how, some of those guys, a Xander, a Sam, people like that, making an impactful plays. What'd you see?
Oh, no, yeah, that was big time. Going back with Coach Tigert, just watching that film, is not always the prettiest. And Coach Tigert challenged the other guys, just saying, we need more, more production. And I'm happy with the guys. They stepped up, and they was having fun with it. Everybody on the bench was up, celebrating, cheering on each other, and we just kept feeding off each other. And we need to do that every night,
This team as a whole, a lot of familiar faces. Coach and I kind of alluded to that. But from you, having these teammates that you've had for a couple years now, too, and building with them, tell us a little bit about the strengths of this Franklin team and what it's like playing with these guys.
I think our strength is, we're very deep this year. Last year we didn't have that depth, because, we had Davis, Gil Jones, me, Xander, and Sam. But, under that, you get just a bunch of underclassmen that wasn't very experienced on a varsity level. But this year, we got a lot of talent, and right now we just trying to figure out putting all that talent together, just making everything gel. But, yeah, I'm very excited to see, what the future holds for us because, we can only go up.
Coach, thinking about going up here with the stiff challenges, things like that, too, when you got a guy like this, I mean, it's the scheming, the game planning, things like that. I mean, I feel like it's got to be a little easier on you.
Well, yeah. I mean, rarely do you have a talent like this, on your team. And so, yeah, we want to play through Christian. We make no secrets about that. Christian, we can do some things different defensively this year than what we've done in the past because we can funnel them into the shot blocker and charge taker. So, yeah, I mean, it definitely it looks different than what we've been in the past, and it will be different next year, So, but this year we got to play through our strengths, and that's Christian.
Christian, a lot of teams, I mean, for a couple of years now, this building, becoming that guy, I mean, when a defense is scheming, they're looking at you and seeing what can we do to slow you down. You're the focus of every defense. How do you handle that kind of pressure, and how do you rise to the occasion?
I mean, I like that, like a challenge. I don't like things being easy. I think the guys on the team, we don't like the easy route. Like we schedule the best of the best every year, just to prepare us. I think it's good. Help me prepare for next year. Going and playing at James Madison at the Division I level. Just getting me mentally right and just helping me elevate my game. And I think it's very good for me.
Well, you mentioned it. That was one of the things I wanted to chat about, too. But being official. James Madison's where we're headed next season. Thinking about going to that college level, committing to a spot like that. Tell us a little bit about that decision. Why'd we pick James Madison?
First and foremost, they value in God. I'm a big Christ center, me and my family, so I really like that. And Coach Combs, he's a local here, so me and him, he's been recruiting me since I was 14. So me and him built that real good relationship. Coach P, just watching his teams play in the past when they was at Morehead State, their playing style really fits with my playing style, so I really could visualize myself playing for him. And, just the opportunities at James Madison, location-wise, I like it. School size, not too big, not too small, and just it felt at home.
Coach, I know we don't even want to think about playing without Christian here, but knowing that opportunity this young man has in front of him and making an impactful spot and choosing a spot like James Madison, what do you see about that fit for him?
Well, I think it's a great fit, and I was very excited that he chose to go ahead and do the commitment before the season. Sometimes these things can get dragged out, but Christian knew what he liked, what he wanted from a school, and it's a great fit. And so, very excited for him, and we look forward to keeping up once he leaves the Admiral. So we'll be keeping up with him at the next level.
We're trying not to pay attention to when that's happening, though, right? Like we want Christian as long as we can. Huh?
Enjoy the moment, yes.
Well, that's another thing too. A lot of the seniors I have coming on the show, Christian, I want to hear some of your perspective about just enjoying the moment still, and still trying to have fun, still trying to be a high school student here too. Tell us how you kind of handle that, especially knowing everything's kind of planned out for you after here too. We still have a season to play. We got graduation, all these great things lined up, but how do you handle the pressure of being a high school senior athlete headed to Division I school?
All I like to say is just run your own race, and God has a path for you, and just just take everything one day at a time. Don't try to worry about the future too much. And yeah, that's like the best advice I can give to my other fellow seniors.
Well, again, chatting with Christian Brown, Jason Tigert of Franklin basketball here. We're at the WillCo Sports Power Hour at Tony's Eat and Drink. Before I let you guys go, we got one of those tune-ups just to start the new year here, like Coach said, and then we dive right in. Independence, then Brentwood, and then the rest of this loaded district here. Christian, your thoughts first on what Franklin has to do to be successful.
One thing we have to do, I feel like it's going to start on the defensive end. In our district, there's a lot of elite scorers. Brentwood, they're putting up almost 33s a game, shooting at a high clip. And Independence, you got elite players like Tylen that can, take over a game in a matter of seconds. So, just being mentally focused, got to continue to keep watching film, and I think we'll be okay.
Coach, some thoughts on diving into district play again? Of diving back into district play. I know we got that tune-up, but then the gauntlet starts here that first week of January.
Well, I think it's one game at a time approach. I mean, each team presents different challenges, and so it's got to be, we're locked in on that the next opponent, and not thinking ahead, not thinking about, playoffs, all that. We're thinking about the next game and getting better every day.
Got you. Christian, I think you got some family maybe tuning in here on our Facebook Live feed here. Anything you want to say to some of the fans and fam out there?
I just appreciate the support.
Love it. Hey, I got a award for you here. Again, Christian Brown is our latest Gateway Tire Male Athlete of the Week. Congratulations, man. Really happy to have you here, and look forward to getting you back here as well.
Yes, sir. That's the plan.
Thank you. Coach Tigert as well. Hey, let's take a photo here, actually. Get that lined up. I have a helper as well who's coming as well too. So let's knock it out though. Quick photo here. Christian Brown, our latest Gateway Tire Male Athlete of the Week. And one more here. Thank you guys so much. Here's this as well too. Christian Brown, senior at Franklin High, Coach Tigert of the boys basketball team. Watch those cords on the way out. Again, this is the WillCo Sports Power Hour. We're live at Tony's Eat and Drink. We're here every Monday night. Well, actually, I say that, but we're actually off next Monday. But then we're right back into the flow of things here. But happy to have Christian here, one of our latest Gateway Tire Athletes of the Week. Another quick shout out to some of our great sponsors out there: Southern Trophy, John Mayer Builders, Trucking for Kier, Tennessee, and Matthews Team Sports. Again, the Power Hour, we're live streaming on Facebook Live. Just go to the Williamson Herald. You can check it out on Gateway Tire and Auto as well. And we'll be up on YouTube. Search the Williamson Herald YouTube channel. Spotify out there as well. Just search WillCo Sports Power Hour. We're on to our next guest here, too. We're going to dip into wrestling, which is pretty special here. We've got Olivia Johnson of Summit High School coming to join us here. Here's one for you, wherever you want to sit. Olivia, thanks for coming. How we doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. Tell us a little bit about who you got with you in support here. I think I see a couple family members and everybody.
I have my mom, my dad, my grandpa, my boyfriend, my brother, and my friends.
Okay. I was going to say, I think I recognized one of these guys from the mats the other day, and I see Sam here too. Really nice. Hey, we had a busy tournament here just on Saturday. Before we go back to when we're recognizing you for it, let's talk a little Mayor Garston here at Independence. You had 5 matches, but I think they were all over within the first period here. Tell us a little bit about your focus going into this tournament, and I think we have an unbeaten record now, right?
Yes, sir. Going into the tournament, I just kind of had to lock in and focus on my training, trust my conditioning. Just pretty much how the rest of the season's been.
Okay.
Just locking in, do what I know how to do.
I see. Well, thinking of that tournament and having these opportunities to compete, tell us a little bit about, I guess, really just the focus going in, because it seems like we're ultra focused here. I mean, I know Coach Miller and I chatted. We think about missing out on some wrestling here and now coming into this season. Tell us about how motivated you are.
I was really motivated when I chose to come back and wrestle this season. I had some time off, and I wasn't sure where I was standing, whether I wanted to wrestle or not, but once I decided that I wanted to, I was all in.
This team has some pretty special girls on it as well. I know, we're small in numbers, but mighty out there. You had 3 champions at the Mayor Garston: Finley, Samantha O'Leary as well, yourself. Thinking of that group and wrestling with these girls, tell us a little bit about the team mentality at Summit.
It's a very tough mentality. I mean, I think our training has really strengthened that. We're a tough bunch, and 4 girls being on a team full of guys, I mean, we kind of have to be. But our coaches push us really hard, and that's the expectation. So,
that's one of the things. We have a lot of, new wrestling fans that tune into the show, and we have some folks that need to be introduced a little bit too. When you talk about the wrestling room at Summit here, I mean, the boys team has been elevated with multiple state champions for a long time here. The girls team keeps rising and rising. And tell us a little bit about the camaraderie between the boys and the girls teams.
Yeah, there's a bit of camaraderie between us. It's definitely increased as the years have gone on, and we practice with them more and more. We all practice together. Us girls rarely practice together. We have guy groups of our own, and I say it's really nice getting to practice with guys and not just girls, because it offers a higher pressure to do well. I see. Thinking of following in with that, you mentioned about taking some time off and coming back. Let's talk about that decision and how, you wanted to come back and embracing this again. And it looks like we're having fun. Tell us about that decision and how you kind of took some time. After last season was over, I kind of stepped back from wrestling. I needed to evaluate whether I wanted to wrestle or not, because I've been wrestling for so long that I just didn't really know if I wanted it that bad anymore. And taking some time off and stepping back, I originally wasn't planning on wrestling this season, but fall break rolled around, and right before I went on vacation, I was like, I think I want to wrestle this year. I missed it.
Well, I think the teammates, I think the school, I think the coaches are all like, yeah, they're shouting yes, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, thinking of the start to this year, and I say start, but, playing catch up here a little bit. I mean, right away, New Year, January, postseason's looming, all that stuff. Where do you feel like you are right now in season mode?
I feel like I'm right where I need to be. I could be better, but everyone could be better. So I'm just working on that, working on my conditioning, my cardio. But I'm in a great place mentally and physically. I'm ready to finish out this season.
I see. Tell us a little bit about what's next. What's on the horizon? Where are we going to be competing?
We have Franklin Admiral next weekend, Middle Tennessee Grand Championships after that. And then for us girls, we have like a little bit of a break with tournaments until regions and state, but we will get some duels matches between now and then.
Looking around the state and thinking of your weight class here too, who are some names that you're kind of keeping an eye on out there? Or are there ones?
Not really. I'm just going out there wrestling,
Okay.
having fun. I do know a few of the people in my weight class, but I'm not worried about them. Worried about myself.
When you think about girls wrestling here, and this is something that, I get tired of having to say it consistently here, but I'm always trying to elevate and bring more light to it. Wrestling's become one of my favorite sports to cover for the Williamson Herald as well. The growth a little bit year over year, thinking about becoming into this. Give us some of your insight, some of the maybe inspiration to try wrestling, things like that.
Girls wrestling around here has definitely grown a lot. I've seen lots of growth in the past 7 years since I started wrestling. Girls are getting excited about it. It's like the fastest growing high school sport there is. And I think the biggest inspiration for me to start wrestling, I was already in jiu-jitsu, so I was already in that combat sport.
Okay.
But it's just such a fast-paced and exciting sport. I mean, you have to put so much into it, but the payoff is worth it.
Nice.
You got to work hard, watch it pay off, and you get the discipline from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's unmatched across any other sport.
There's no hiding when you're out on the mat.
No, sir.
Not at all.
No team to hide behind.
Yeah. Well, having some supporters with great teammates, great coaches, great friends that are in the wrestling world, can you explain just how it's really a big family of sorts, how you all support one another?
It is a big family. I mean, wrestling is a high-intensity sport, and you're going to need that support system. My coaches and my teammates, family, friends, they've all been there for me throughout the years, and I couldn't have done it without them.
There's a young man sitting over here that I know ended up winning a championship at Mayor Garson as well, too. When you think about who might be a little better on the mats here, who do you think? I mean, it's tough because the weights are a little different here, but
Yeah.
tell us about what your thoughts of Leo is.
We actually wrestled before, back in middle school, a little bit in elementary school.
How'd that go?
I beat him the first time. A few years later,
Okay. He might have a little more of an edge, maybe.
Yeah, a little
okay.
bit.
Okay, now. But you have that win from earlier.
Yes,
Oh, I love
still hold
that.
on to that.
Okay, all right. Love that. Well, it's kind of fun. We have some extra time here, and I was chatting with Coach Miller, and I know he wanted to be here, but he had some family stuff he had to work
Yes,
with
sir.
as well, too. But I kind of want to surprise somebody else, and I think we should have Samantha come up and join us here just to chat for a little while, too. She was another champion here in the tournament,
was,
and I
yeah.
think we should talk about the
5
Summit team
pins.
here, right? Let's get Samantha O'Leary up here as well, another Summit wrestler. Here's another mic. Thank you so much. Oh, but you didn't want to. I think it'll be
Glad
kind of
you're
fun
here.
here. Hey, well, here's a start. This is easy. Samantha, welcome to the show, first off. I know you've been here before, too. Tell us a little bit about Olivia here and what you've seen from her to start this year.
I've seen a great attitude out of her from the start. Through freshman year too, because I was still new. She
Yeah.
did it all. But she's always had a great attitude, and she's always been so positive, and she's such a strong character, to where she rubs off to everybody, and you can just feel her energy. Where it's oh, I want to be near her because she's up here, and you don't want to be down here. You want to be all the way up here with her. But
So when she decided to come back to wrestling, we're pretty fired up for this then. huh?
oh, definitely, yeah. I was so excited to see she was back and all.
Olivia, thinking of Samantha here and seeing, a fellow great competitor out there. Tell us a little bit about Samantha.
Samantha has gotten so good over the past 3 years. I remember when she first stepped into the room freshman year, I wasn't sure where it was going, but I could always tell that she had this strong character. I knew she was going to be really good, and she picked up steam freshman year, did amazing last year, and it's just never really had a bad day in my opinion.
Oh, well, that sounds pretty good. I like
Yeah.
that. Samantha, we chatted a little bit about the wrestling room at Summit here. Knowing some, we're the small but mighty, as Coach Miller's always said, and as you've all said. Tell us a little bit about your perspective of this team and how competitive you are.
This team is actually like one of the strongest ones we've had recently. With just the four of us, I mean, all of us are really strong. And then we have one new girl, which she's doing really well already. Even though it's her first year, she did play soccer for like 10 years beforehand, but she's picked it up really well. And then our bond together is just like really strong and like it's just, yeah.
I like it. I like it. Well, this last tournament over at Independence, having that opportunity to get out on the mats, both of you pinning your way to championships here. Tell us a little bit. Let's recap that again. We kind of talked a little bit about Olivia, but that tournament making quick work of many opponents here. What do you see from yourself out there?
I really saw the focus. I didn't get in my head at all for any of my matches. I was a little bit nervous towards my finals match, but that's how all finals matches are. You just get nervous for them. But when it came down to it, I locked in, trusted my training, and honestly, I wouldn't be in the conditioning that I am in right now if it weren't for my coaches. Mm-hmm. Our preseason training is no joke. When I came back those 2 weeks before season started, the first week was the roughest. I was so out of shape, but they'll hammer you into shape pretty fast. Mm-hmm. So I think that's all accredited to Summit.
I see. Samantha, on Saturday at Mayor Garston there to get a tournament title for you two. How's your season going, and what's that do for your confidence?
My season's going pretty well right now. I have one loss on the season, and I think it's helped my confidence really well, especially coming from last year to where all of these girls are like new or like new ones I've wrestled and I haven't seen them at all. But it's helping a lot really well where I'm seeing them more and then I'm getting new ones in also. But I just feel it's just helping a lot.
Love it. Well, I know we got some wrestling coming up here too. Really looking forward to following both of you here. Samantha, thanks for coming up, and on a whim like this, I apologize bringing it to you like that, but that worked out really well. Thank you for coming. Olivia, congratulations on being our latest Gateway Tire Female Athlete of the Week. Really looking forward to hopefully having both of you back up here as well, too. Is there anything else you'd like to add or mention before we let you go?
I'm excited for the rest of the season. It's going to be great. I'm excited to keep up my streak, keep training, keep wrestling.
What's our record at right now?
14-0.
14, and what was the other number?
0.
That's what I thought. Well done. Well, here, let's get a quick photo here. I want to pull that out if you don't mind. Again, Olivia Johnson of Summit High School, our latest Gateway Tire Female Athlete of the Week. Let's take a quick photo right here. And we got one more, if you don't mind. Thank you so much. Olivia, congratulations. Again, this is the WillCo Sports Power Hour. We're live at Tony's Eat and Drink. We got one more guest lined up here before we kick off Monday Night Football, but a shout out to all those great sponsors that make this possible. Tim Thompson, Premier Realtors, Gateway Tire and Service, Toyota of Cool Springs, and Stonegate Homes, among the many out there. One of the cool things we did this year at the Williamson Herald, which is something that we probably should have been doing for quite a while here, is actually recognizing our athletes of the year for fall season, for a winter season, for a spring season. Last week, we talked with our male athlete of the year for the fall side, Mr. Eric Hazard of Page High School, a four-time finalist leading the Page team. He played in every high school game possible, 60 high school football games, 4 state finals. He's off to Louisville next week to begin his college career. On the female side, we get to have our female fall athlete of the week in Miss Kaira Knox. If she could come up and join us here as well. We get to recognize, again, so many great athletes out there. And Kaira, of course, an athlete of the year, a Tim Thompson Premier Athlete of the Year for the fall season. Stand out on the volleyball team. Kaira, welcome back. It's great to have you back.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
We were just joking about when you came in. I mean, going back to October, it seems like that's last season, last year already. Tell us a little bit about ending your high school playing career at Nolensville, being a state champion, going out the way you came in as a state champ, What have these last couple months been like for you?
So the last couple of months, like especially October, it was just so nice to play with all my best friends again and enjoy that one last ride. I feel like the seniors, we really put everything we had into, the whole season, but especially the last couple of weeks. And we just really stuck together, and we knew that if we trusted our training and we all just leaned on each other, we could do it.
I know, so many athletes out there, they dream of getting to play for that championship, getting the opportunity to get to the state stage for that matter. You got to play in 3 state finals. Tell us a little bit about just how special that was and what this journey in high school has been like at Nolensville.
I know that is something that's really special to me because first of all, going to the tournament is like not a lot of people get to do that, and I'm just so happy that our team had the opportunity and we had all the right girls and Coach Young and Coach Joy, they really helped us with that, and I'm just happy that we were able to make it. And it's really special because I feel like it's a time where like everyone's nervous, but you all get to share that very special moment with each other, and just lean on each other and just get to just fight for everything that you've worked so hard for at the beginning of the season.
One of the trends that we always talk about on this show is just the greatness of Williamson County in terms of high school athletics. We had the boys basketball team up here talking about how tough the district is. We could have easily been chatting about how tough the wrestling districts are too. Volleyball, you guys played a district foe in the championship.
Yes.
How great is volleyball in Williamson County?
Williamson County volleyball is really tough because I feel like any team in Williamson County could go to this state championship and make it to state, which is really hard, especially because Franklin really gave us a run for our money in districts, and we did a really good job of just staying composed and knowing that, we've worked so hard for this, and if we just, got that 6-point stretch, we could just go to state. So that was really exciting.
Well, I think coaches will be quick to point out potentially of how the entertainment factor was super high maybe for fans, but I know Coach Young's probably watching right now, and he probably lost a lot of hair during some of those matches, I think, right? Yeah.
Yes.
It was pretty tough. So that even the sectional, for example, that was a big one. Passing these hurdles to get to the state stage, what did that do for this team?
So I feel like when we played Franklin especially, and then also Green Hills when we played them, we went to 5 in both of those matches, and I feel like it was just really a testament to what we had been working on all season, because those were really tough matches for us, and once we got over those, I feel like we knew that we could really do anything that we put our mind to. And with state coming up around the corner, I feel like that just really helped us gain momentum and know that we could really do this and that we could win.
Thinking momentum, going back to your junior year last year, finding momentum late in the postseason. I mean, comparing last year to this year and just, overcoming obstacles, getting on a roll, how important is it to really find that vibe, that good team feeling in the postseason?
Yeah, so at the beginning of the season last year, it was a little tough, but we found it. And honestly, if you just stick together as a team, it doesn't really matter when, as long as it's just in time for districts. No matter what you do, you can always find a way to get in, and it's really special.
Again, going back, that was the 6th seed in the district, finding the hot streak right when we need to and making it all the way to the finals, right? I mean, nothing to it.
Well, nothing really. I know. That was a crazy season. I loved it, though.
This team, let's chat a little bit about how special this group was, playing alongside some of these girls. What really stood out about this year's Nolensville championship team?
It was just really special because I feel like we kind of had a lot of new girls that we were bringing up, and we had a freshman setter and a sophomore setter. We had a lot of sophomores on the court, which was pretty nice. But I feel like just trying to give them as much information as we could, and just giving it, like, we had the most support on our team that I felt like we've really ever had, because we knew that everyone was young and just stepping into this. So if we really just showed them the way and showed them how to work hard in practice and still have fun, and and that's just something that was really special to me this season.
You mentioned some of the young players out there, and setting, for example. I know it runs in the family a little bit, but being a hitter as well, thinking of the usefulness of distributing and Sadie and Avery, how they were able to manage and split the duties of running an offense.
Yes.
How does that make you excited for Nolensville for the years to come, knowing those two are there?
It makes me very excited because they were able to, catch on to our offense really fast. And just asking a lot of questions. We really worked on setter-hitter connection, which was really good. And then just talking to them and giving them feedback on everything, because I feel like that's what helps setters the most is feedback, and you want to know what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, and just kind of reassuring them really helps them, and I'm really excited to see what they do in the next few seasons.
Before we talk about one of those other younger players on this team, let's chat a little bit about what's next for you, because having that worked in, I know we had Christian Brown on the show a little earlier, another senior that we're recognizing here tonight, but having your spot picked out, tell us about your decision and where you're going.
Yep. So I'm going to Western Kentucky to play volleyball, and I'm graduating early, so I'll be there in about 3 weeks, and I'm very excited to just move in and get used to everything and train and, be with a new group of girls, which is kind of scary, but it's exciting, and I'm just ready for my future.
That you mentioned about going early like that. That's something we're seeing, a lot of athletes doing here. And coincidentally, last week when we had Eric Hazard on the show, another early enrollee like that, getting that opportunity to join that college ranks a little early. Tell us about that decision and just kind of what went into it, because that's there's a lot that goes into that, skipping out on, not skipping, that's a weird word choice, wrong word choice, but missing out maybe a little more on wrapping up a senior year in high school and diving right into college. Tell us about that decision making.
So for me, it was mainly of for school, I was ahead, so I was it'd kind of be nice if I got the chance to graduate early. And then for club, it was fun, but at a certain point, I was I feel like I just really want to get ahead in college and just be used to everything by the time that it's fall and we're actually in season. I don't want to try to be catching up on classes and missing certain days because of this game or that game. So I was it'd kind of be nice to just go in the spring, get used to everything,
yeah.
Get enrolled in my classes, and then I talked to my counselor and my coaches, and they're well, there's a spot open for you, and if you want to come early, we're not pressuring you to, but if it's something that you really want to do, we'll fully support that. And I was happy my parents were able to support that decision. So I'm really happy to get the opportunity to do that.
That's just so exciting, thinking about that next level and joining the program right away and the leg up you get from that. Tell us real quick before we have another guest join us up here about what attracted you to Western Kentucky.
It was really just the environment, and when I went to the camp, I wasn't really expecting too much, and so I just kind of came in with in a level head, and then I was just we'll just see what happens. And I spent all day at the camp, and I just loved it, and I love the way that I could already see myself getting so much better in just a couple hours, and just seeing the players talk about the coaches and the program and how much they love it there, I knew it was somewhere that I needed to be, and so I'm happy I made that decision and that I went to the camp.
There's a couple Nolensville alums there already too, and I think you got players coming there from the area. There's going to be a lot of familiar faces too, huh?
Yes, I'm so excited for that.
And we're not that far from home too.
No,
I'm sure that probably helps somebody out over there as well a little bit.
Only an hour and a half.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to come catch a game or two here now too.
You need to. That'll be so fun.
Part of the fun of having you up here, Kaira, again, getting to chat, it's just fun to go back and talk a little bit about this season. One of your teammates is here as well, too, and I think we need to bring her up here because she's also your younger sister.
My sister.
Oh, man. As she's walking up here, let's have give us a little introduction. Who's coming to join us right now?
This is my sister. She started playing with me when I feel like we were 12 probably. And she's a lefty as well. She's a right side, and I've just really liked playing on the team with her, and getting to spend these last 2 years with her has been really special.
Well, welcome to the show here a little bit. Tell us what it's been like playing with your older sister here for the last couple years and getting to win a state championship on top of that.
It's definitely been interesting playing with Kaira on the team for the last few years because I feel like we obviously like have a sister bond so we can like connect with each other, but obviously at times we do struggle like to figure it out or kind of get along. But I do love playing with her, and especially going to state with her. It was super fun and getting to go with all of our friends, and I just loved it. So
I think one of the things that we've talked about throughout the season, actually, Kaira, was, in terms of maybe trying to help out or point something out, you really didn't have to say much. It was more of a look. Can you describe the look?
I don't even know.
Okay.
It was just
a lot of times I feel like if one of us was struggling, we would just kind of give each other like a look like, okay, like you got it, just reset. And then from there on, I feel like we'd be good, or we just have like a mutual like connection, like it's
like an
okay.
understanding.
Yeah, like you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was well said. I think I was able to catch a couple of those moments here and there. Kaira, thinking about moments that stand out to you, give us a little taste of something that stood out, like a big play that she might have made, or just something that made you really proud.
Honestly, I feel like the most special moments were either when she would just get like a really big like solo stuff block. Those always made me the happiest, especially in the state championship match when everything was really close. And then also on like game point, if she gets a really good kill or a good block, that always makes me super happy. So
For both of you, let's talk about growing up volleyball here a little bit too. Tell us how we got involved with it, both of you.
So I feel like at first it was mainly because my mom had played in college and she was a club coach, and I always grew up around that. And so I have just always grown up with the volleyball in my hand. And I think I started at like 10 or something, and I would be at
really
club
young,
practice, and she was always there. And she, I don't know.
At first, I didn't really want to get into volleyball. I was a little nervous about it. I was like, okay, that's Kaira's thing. Like, I'm going to do my own thing. But slowly, like, I started seeing her play, and I started giving her tips and stuff on it. I was like, maybe I should start playing too. So I eventually got into volleyball too.
And I think it works out pretty well. Even Dad watches volleyball now too,
Yeah,
right?
let's-
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Okay. Real quick, I know Coach Young's going to be paying attention here, and he has the opportunity to reach out, and he's been so helpful for me over these last few years. For both of you, can you just talk about Coach Brett Young and and the whole staff here? I know we got Coach Joy here too, but just what it's been like playing for this Nolensville program and being a part of a state championship team.
It just really helps knowing that, at first, he was actually my PE coach in 8th grade. So that helped because I had kind of known of him and he'd known of me. And then just being on the team freshman year, he was super welcoming. And he put a lot of trust in me, which made me feel super comfortable, and just the amount of like faith he has in our team and just how much he can see in all of us when at times, even if we kind of doubt ourselves, I feel like he doesn't have a lot of doubt, and he really does a good job of reassuring us, which helps us win a lot of games. So I'm really thankful for that.
Yeah. Before I came in, I saw how much he like cared for Kaira and all the other girls on the team, and I saw that the bond that they had. So coming in, I really loved Coach Young like automatically because I knew he had like a strong connection with my sister, and Coach Joy, I had known her from club volleyball and just seeing her around. So I just love having them as coaches because I knew prior they had a bond with Kaira, obviously, but then me coming in too, it was like a mutual bond between the both of us. And they've just been great coaches, and I wouldn't have asked for other coaches to go to state with. It was great.
I love it. I love it. Again, just having both of you up here to chat's pretty special. Anything y'all would like to add or mention or chat about? This is an opportunity to talk about each other or talk about the team, the program. We got a couple minutes here. Anything come to mind?
I would just like to say that I'm excited to continue to watch Cameron play and cheer them on from college. And I'm just really thankful for all the opportunities and just all the fun and all the laughs and the memories that we've all had. Like me and Coach Joy at practice, we're always laughing together, and I just love it. So thank you guys.
I'm excited to watch Kaira play in college and continue playing at Nolensville. And I know she's going to do great things, and I'm excited to see what we have coming up next in Nolensville. So, yeah.
Well, Kaira, I have a couple awards here for you, actually, too, because there was a recent Gateway Tire Athlete of the Week award and our Tim Thompson Premier Female Athlete of the Year for the fall season. Gosh, so much hardware. I mean, I think you're probably running out of wall space wherever you are. But so special to have both of you here. Congratulations again. Kaira Knox, everyone. Cameron Knox here as well, too. Kaira is our first Tim Thompson Premier Fall Female Athlete of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you, guys.
us.
Let's take a quick photo here real quick, if you don't mind. And then we'll wrap up our show here. We'll
get it
take out one of those. Yeah. Again, this is the WillCo Sports Power Hour. We're winding down here just before Monday Night Football. We've got a couple nice awards here for Kaira. We're going to get Cameron up here to get some of these. Either way, yeah. All right, quick photo. We got one more here, and I think Mom too, all right? Congratulations to both. Here's this. Yes, thank you. Again, Kaira Knox, our Tim Thompson Premier Female Athlete of the Year for the fall season. Congratulations to her. A senior headed right away to join the college ranks. This has been the WillCo Sports Power Hour. Congratulations to all our guests here tonight. Thank you to Cameron. Thank you to Samantha for adding to this as well, too. But to Olivia Johnson of Summit High School, one of our Gateway Tire Female Athletes of the Week, to Christian Brown of Franklin High School, Gateway Tire Male Athlete of the Week, and Kaira Knox of Nolensville, our Fall Athlete of the Year. Really special to have everybody on board here. My name's Charles Pulliam. We'll be off next week, next Monday, for the WillCo Sports Power Hour, but we'll be coming back on that second week of January, and we'll have more wrestling, we'll have more basketball, we'll have some more great guests here as well, too. But be sure to come on by, check out Tony's. Even if we're not here, every night, great specials. New Year's Eve coming up as well, too. They got a great party lined up here. One last shout-out for our sponsors, Tim Thompson Premier Realtors, Gateway Tire and Service, Toyota of Cool Springs, Stonegate Homes, Matthews Team Sports, Truck and Fork here, Tennessee, Southern Trophy, and John Mayer Builders. It's been a great show here. Thank you to my friends and family hanging out here as well, too, at Tony's and online. It's been special. Congratulations to our athletes. We'll see you in the new year. Thanks for tuning in.